Hey guys, I'm the Strongman Historian, and today we are gonna talk about the 2022 Magnus Classic. The end of the year is very quickly becoming my favorite part of the Strongman season. We have the Rogue Invitational, we just had the OSG, and now we have the Magnus Classic. Last year's Magnus Ver Magnusson Classic was a great competition. That said, there were some small mistakes that maybe took away from the overall quality of the competition. It felt at times that not even Magnus knew what's going on. There was some miscommunication or like misunderstandings going on, which I believe that's very easily fixable, especially they have experience from last year. They also held qualifiers that were live streamed. So I believe, or I hope at least, that this year will be run more smoothly and without any issues. The lineup this year is a step up from last year. It feels like the overall quality of guys competing is just better, which is always great. We have the returning champion coming back, Maxime Boudreault. Then we have Eitor Melstedt, who finished second. We have Christian Jon Haraldsson, who finished fourth. Then we have some other guys who also competed last year, like Pierre Motal, Erwin Toch, Kim Ujurag Lorentzen, and Ryan England. Then we have the guys who qualified through the Canadian qualifier, and that's James Jeffers, Colton Sloan, and Vilius Jokušis. Finishing our lineup, we have Stefan Karel Torfason, Mika Toro, Jacob Finnerty, and Rongo Keen. The first event, just like last year, is gonna be the Natural Stone for Max. It just visually such a cool event, like finding rocks and trying to lift them overhead and trying to figure out who's the strongest. They're just so cool and so like primitive. Like it's been done since the dawn of time and it hasn't gotten less cool. So yeah. And it's Magnus Ver Magnusson Classic, so we are gonna have a spectacular scenery to go with it. It's just great. Especially with the lineup of guys we have here. We have the current world record holder in this event, Jacob Finnerty. We have the guys who did really well last year, Ryan and Eitor, and some other incredible pressers like Maxime and Rongo Keen. I'm excited. I love rocks. The second event we have is the Thor's Hammer Throw for Distance. And this is gonna be a very interesting one because I don't believe a lot of the guys, if any of the guys, even got the chance to touch a Thor's hammer, not even throw it. So usually in strongman we have throwing for height, but this is completely different. And yeah, like it's impossible to predict, honestly. So I'm not even gonna try. I'd be just throwing random names out. So if you think you know who's gonna do well, let me know down in the comments and let's just move to the next event. The last event of day one is gonna be natural stone loading, which is basically doing atlas stones, but instead of atlas stones you have just natural stones, which is cooler in my book. You might be of a different opinion, but I prefer natural stones to atlas stones. Yeah, just standard event done in a cooler way. Who is gonna do well? The guys who are very proficient at atlas stones, like Maxime Boudreault. Uh, Depends. I'm not sure about the weights and shapes, but that also plays a big part. Obviously, experience with natural stones is gonna benefit the guys. The guys with longer hands might have an advantage, like Stefan Karel or maybe Mika Toro. We will see. I'm gonna say Maxime Boudreault, Stefan Karel Torfason, and maybe Christian Jon Haraldsson. The first event of day 2 is gonna be the Husafell Stone Carry. I'm pretty sure I don't have to explain what the Husafell Stone Carry is, so let's just go straight into the predictions. Who is gonna do well? I believe someone like Stefan Karel should do well. Long arms, he's a tall guy, he's Icelandic, he should have like experience with the stone, so he would be my pick to win it. Obviously, the guys who did well last year, like Maxim and Eitor, just copy paste from last year, like what could go wrong. uh, and then, well, the Icelanders, I think Christian Jon should do well. Vilius Jokušis is really quick on his feet. Mika Toro maybe. But my top three would be Stefan Karel, Maxime Boudreault, and Eitor Melstedt. The next event is gonna be Stone to Shoulder, and it just feels like it's gonna be Iceland versus Canada this year. Uh, Christian won this event last year. Maxim did really well. Then we have guys like Colton Sloan and James Jeffers. We have a lot of strong Icelanders. Well, Aitor. My top three would be Christian, Aitor, and Maxime. But like, don't sleep on the new Canadians. The last event of day two is gonna be something called Stone's Farmer Walk. I have no idea what this is. I tried searching through Magnus's Instagram and the Magnus Classic Instagram, but I couldn't find the implement. So there are two options. Is this something like Dini stones or nickel stones, or is it like just the standard set of farmers with stones at the ends or something? I have no idea. So I'm gonna do two predictions. If it's like Dini stones type of thing, uh, are there rings? Are there just standard handles? I'm not sure. But a good grip should be a safe bet. So I'm gonna say Maxime Boudreault, Canadian grip, blah blah blah. You know the thing. Uh, Stefan Karl Torfason, like he has incredible grip. So he's gonna be my uh, second prediction, and the third one is gonna be Jacob Finnerty. If it's just standard farmers walks and they aren't like crazy heavy, I'm gonna say Christian, maybe Vilius, like just these speedy guys, and like Maxime, Aitor. So I don't know if you've seen the implement. Like, let me know where I can find it. Like, I would really love to see it because I was like thinking like, what? But again, stones. I'm excited. I love stones. So let's go to day number 3. The first event of day 3 is gonna be something that's finally easy to predict, and that's axle deadlift for reps. The top 2 is pretty clear to me, and that's Kim Uyorak and Jacob Finnerty. It has to be said that Kim had some hamstring issues like 2 weeks ago or something, so I'm not sure if that's gonna play a big part. If it doesn't, he should be in top 2 easily. And the third guy isn't known as much of a deadlifter, but Maxime won this event last year, to my surprise, and he only got better at deadlifting since then, so he should be good for top 3. So that's my top 3 for the axle deadlift for reps. That's Jacob, Kim, and Maxime. The last event is gonna be a log lift medley. It's a great finisher with this kind of a lineup because we have some of the best pressers in the world right now present. Uh, Everyone knows how good of a presser Maxime is. Jacob Finnerty might be like top 5 presser in the world right now. Like, when it comes to overhead strength, this guy just presses everything. Well, it's like he's about to prove it, I believe. Then we have Rongo Keen. He's very underrated when it comes to like overhead. He has a 207 log or something. Ryan England is a great presser. Yeah, Colton Sloan won the. They had the log lift medley in the Canadian qualifier. It was done on sand, so like the weights were lighter than I expect them to be, like right here. But like stability shouldn't be an issue, so Colton Sloan might be up there, especially if the logs are lighter and it's more of a speedy event. So my top 3 would be, I think it would be crazy to not have Jacob Finnerty in top 3, Maxime and Rongo. Okay, so that's gonna be my top 3 for the log lift medley. So for the final predictions, I think the top 3, I'm pretty confident about my top 3. Then again, I was pretty confident about my Rogue Invitational predictions. Yeah, that didn't go well. But I'm gonna say Maxime Boudreault, Aitor, and Jacob Finnerty. And probably the fourth and fifth is gonna be occupied by Icelanders. I think Christian and Stefan for the top 5. Let me know who you think is gonna do well. Let me know what your predictions are in the comments. I'm the Strongman Historian. See you.